Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on stage, we have the most distinguished guest this morning, a wonderful tree, who will join our guests on stage. Now, this tree, it's not moving on its own, by the way. This tree is a Eugenia tree, and the Eugenia tree is a family of evergreen shrubs and trees that are popular for their ornamental and versatile nature. This is a very delicate launch, yet highly relevant and symbolic, well within the spirit of this summit. Honorable Minister, may I ask you to kindly nourish the plant and thereby officially launch the Planetary Health Summit 2024 here at Sunway University. Okay, can we get our guests to step forward next to the tree and we'll take some photographs.
Thank you. We have been told that this tree will be planted on campus and will serve as a lasting memory of the summit hosted by Sunway.
May I invite our distinguished guests to step back as our tree will now leave the stage. Now, as we mentioned, the tree will be planted on campus and we will have a special plaque to commemorate the occasion. And whenever you're next here at Sunway, which I hope is going to be very soon, we encourage you to drop by and say hello to this plant, because this plant will be on campus. Now, can I ask our minister and distinguished guests to remain on stage, as we would like to present a token of appreciation. But before we do, allow me to say a few words about the gift we are about to present to you. Now, this is a really special certificate connected to the preservation of corals in Malaysia. So Coral Ku, Coral Mu Jua, which is in English, my coral is your coral too, is the motivation behind this Malaysian coral reef restoration and research project. This group of dedicated marine biologists decided to take a twist on what's mine is yours, to urge for collective action to protect our coral reef. Every coral adoption supports Coral Ku and their quest to find Malaysia's next super coral, a collection of corals that are more heat resilient than others. The coral fragments adopted by the Sunway Center for Planetary Health were chosen based on the results of heat resilience fitness tests conducted in Pulau Lang Tengah. Coral Ku will monitor and report the survival of these coral fragments and use these data to continuously improve their restoration strategy. May I invite Professor Dr. Elizabeth Lee to present this very special gift to our Honorable Minister. And for our guests, this is what the certificate looks like.
Thank you, Professor Dato Lee and Minister. The coral species is Corpa florida, or its common name, branch coral, a species commonly used for coral reef restoration. The branch coral increases coral reef biodiversity by enhancing recolonization of fish species, such as the damselfish, which help reduce predation of outplanted corals. Could I now invite Mr. Haoxing Zhu, please stand to the right of Professor Popima and President. And may I invite you to present another special certificate to Mr. Haoxing Zhu. Ladies and gentlemen, the adopted corals were planted last Friday on the 12th of April 2024 in a nursery at Lungtangjia Island by local coral conservationists of Coral Coup and will be monitored for 1 year before they are outplanted in a coral restoration site. Our guests will receive individual updates on the growth of their adopted corals.
Honorable guests and Minister, begging your indulgence, please remain on stage as we now would like to invite our fellow distinguished guests present here this morning to join our guests on stage. Can we have Yang Bahagia Datuk Sri Engineer Dr. Zaini Ujang, Ms. Karima Al-Khoury, Mr. Niloy Banerjee, Yang Bahagia Datuk Dr. Nofariza Nah, and lastly, Mr. Ong Pang Yen, Executive Director of the Chairman's Office at Sunway Group. Now, since we're no longer in pandemic mode, social distancing is to be abandoned. Could I request all of you to get a little closer as we would like to take a group photograph? I think our photographers would like you to move to your right so that you are captured in the center of the... Yeah, can we ask all our guests to move? There we go, yeah. I think they want everyone to be in the center of the... Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Can we now invite our distinguished guests back to your seats?